Hey, I'm Janelle and this is toDIYfor. So today's DIY is inspired by my mom for two reasons. She recently sent me home with a belated birthday gift because I finally saw my family, and I broke it. It was a pottery piece. It smashed in the trunk while I was driving home, so I need to fix it. But it's also inspired by this letter that I recently found from her. And I found this while digging through some old totes of my belongings that she recently gave to me. And it's a letter that she wrote about 5 years ago, and I can remember finding it on my nightstand. I had gone through a really difficult breakup. I'd been together for 5 years with this person and I was just crushed. And this is the letter that she wrote to me, and it says, "Janelle, make it beautiful. When the Japanese mend broken objects, they put it back together and they fill the damaged cracks with gold. They believe that when something suffered damage and has a history, it becomes more beautiful." What a beautiful analogy for what God does with our brokenness. And I'm only just realizing what exactly she's talking about. It is a technique called Kintsugi, and it's absolutely stunning. It's a great way to mend broken pieces that you might already have. I know I'm a bit of a klutz, so this is the thing that I have problems with. But what I'm going to show you today is not an authentic Kintsugi effect that you can use, but more this is what I had at home, and I kind of came up with this idea and to give you this similar kind of an effect. It's been inspired by that technique. You can absolutely go online and buy kits to actually do it properly, but what I'm going to show you is the easy kind of hack technique that I made up with a few things that I have at home. It's by no means authentic. It is not going to be dishwasher safe. This is really just going to be a decor piece. It can't really be used with the way that I'm going to show you, but I thought I'd show you anyways because this was a pretty touching moment when I found this, and I can't wait to show you how I put it back together. So here's the piece that I'm putting back together. Luckily, it's not too many pieces, but what I'm going to use is hot glue to put it back together. And there's a couple of things to note about hot glue. It dries really quickly, so you need to work as fast as you can. But the other thing is that hot glue tends to be thick when it dries. So this is kind of going to create a bit of a gap when we're putting our pieces back together. It is okay for this technique. Try and lay it down as thin as possible, and again, work as quick as possible. If need be, you can pull the hot glue off of a section and re-glue it if you need to. So here's the gold leaf that I picked up. It's fake gold leaf from the dollar store, and you'll also need a needle. The idea here is that you lay down a bead of hot glue over top of each crack, and then you take a piece of gold leaf and you press it in, and make sure you get it around all of the grooves of that hot glue just as it's drying. And then once it has dried, take the needle and scrape off the excess. I found this to be the best tool to remove the gold leaf delicately, that you're not pulling it off of the hot glue where you want it to stay. It's really great for covering up these holes here where maybe some of the chipped color has come off as well. Just lay on more glue. And so try to do your glue bead as steady and as even as possible, but it really is okay if it's thin or thick in certain spots. And you do need to work in sections because hot glue dries so quickly. So that's really all there is to this technique. I did it to a couple of pieces because, like I said, I am a klutz, but I think it has a really cool effect. Okay, so that is it for this week's DIY. Like I said, this is not authentic, but if you do want to do it in the authentic way, I would highly suggest purchasing a kit. I will leave a link down below to one that I found online that you could use. But I really do think that this is a stunning way to put together broken porcelain or, pottery that you might have at home, because why throw it out? I love the analogy of this, and I think it looks like a beautiful piece. Let me know what you think of this DIY. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you make this DIY, I would love to see what yours looks like. You can send it to me, DM on Instagram or on Twitter, or just tag me in a post that you might use. My Instagram and Twitter is @JanelleSteeper. So don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back next Wednesday with a new video. Cheers.